Welcome back. This summer, the Bonfils Stanton Foundation and the Denver Foundation awarded $1.2 million to Colorado arts organizations impacted by the pandemic. Much of that money came from people like you, and there are more grants coming. Katie LaSalle recently talked to Bonfils Stanton Foundation CEO Gary Stoyer and Travis Branham, the co-founder of Vocal Coalition, an organization already benefiting from your generosity.
Gary, let's start with you. It's been a critical lifeline for so many organizations. What has been the process to kind of get to this point?
Sure. Well, when the COVID crisis first began, it became clear to us immediately that it was having a profound impact on our cultural sector. Thousands of people losing their employment, arts organizations deeply in the red, losing sources of income, and we had to figure out how we could respond. We're a relatively small foundation, and so we decided it really should be a collective response. And we decided, thanks to our board of directors that authorized it, to make a significant lead gift of $1 million to kind of kickstart the fund. The Denver Foundation agreed to host the fund, to manage the fund, and also became a significant donor to the fund. And then many, many other donors, foundations, individuals, from very small donors to significant gifts, including Denver Arts and Venues, the city cultural agency put money into the fund, and we've raised a total of $1.7 million to date. And we decided, because it was clear that the impact of COVID on cultural organizations was going to continue for many months, that rather than grant the entire amount out at the beginning, we'd break it up into 2 cycles.
Travis, Vocal Coalition, what does it mean to you? Can you also give us a little bit of background on Vocal Coalition and what you guys do for the community?
Absolutely. Basically, to sum it up, Vocal Coalition is Colorado's youth choir that still believes in love. We don't really apologize for that. But we know that right now, hate is something that is running rampant very loudly. It's mean, it's obnoxious, and it's destructive. And we know young people want to raise their voice to combat it by being a force for love. And so we also know that it's hard to be a force for love without great music and amazing artists. And that's why we created VOCOs.
Why is it so important, Gary, to continue to support the arts in our community during this time?
Well, sort of to the point that Travis made, I think, it's easy to look at the times we're in and focus on the critical needs we have in our society. Of course, housing and access to food and all of those things, and they are critically important. But we believe that we shouldn't forget that we need to feed our souls as well.
While we and other arts organizations were scrambling to figure out how to survive, we're thankful that this collective of leaders and foundations gathered together to figure out how to help other organizations survive this. So it's going to enable us to continue our virtual programming. So because singing right now in public and in person is not something that's considered safe right now. So we're going to continue creating our virtual choir performances with Colorado youth and Colorado artists from around the state, and trying to send messages of hope and love out into the universe through music.
And you can help organizations like VOCO and others. Log on to denverfoundation.org and donate to the COVID-19 Arts and Culture Relief Fund.